Hey guys, Mr. Turkeyman here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another survey video. These are videos, if you're new here, where I just go through the survey. So real quick spiel before we get in. There are timestamps down below if you want to skip though. But real quick, basically just ramble through all the questions in the surveys. And today we have not one, but two. The first is on Main Game Tarkov, and that's where we'll start because most people don't care about Arena. But I do to a bit, and I like to report on news for that, so we'll get to that later. The Tarkov one is about small scale events. We've been getting a lot of those lately. Blackout, Wild Woods. I believe there was another one recently that I can't think of right now. And then the Arena one is about general gameplay preferences, I believe is the wording. We'll check when we get there. I'm going into these blind, and I just like to share my thoughts on each question one at a time. Usually they're not too long. And yeah, I just like to talk about these things, and hopefully discussions start here, or if I make shorts with these now. I've been trying to do that more lately because it's a good way to kind of get the news out in bite-sized pieces. With that said, if you're new to surveys, they kind of hide them down here in the bottom right corner and then post them on social media. But basically they're a way to get people to give responses in game, because previously they would just take opinions and feedback from Reddit, Twitter. Not great places to do that. In game is usually much better. I wish they were more robust. I wish they called them out more, because again, if you're not on Twitter to give feedback, you're probably not on there to see that they posted a new survey. And other than, if you're not aware of them, there's just a little notification down here, so they might go missed. But yeah, that being said, you get rewards for them. So if that's all you care about, you can click through it really fast. But I suggest people actually take the time to read them and give their thoughts to try to make the game better. We have gotten tangible updates out of these surveys. And lastly, a special shout out to Tarkov.community as always, which is their site where you can post suggestions straight to the community and the devs. People upvote them. The most upvoted ones get put into the game at some point. T-Case is a great example of something that came from that website. But without further ado, let's jump into the main game one. A new in-game survey is now available for Escape from Tarkov players focused on small-scale in-game events. By small-scale in-game events, we mean short-term events lasting a few days that don't introduce new gameplay content aside from event pass and their related characters and achievements. We'd like to learn how interested you are in this type of event, which rewards you consider the most valuable, and how you think this format should evolve. I should also add that there is no time frame for this one. I think it went up on the 24th, which was 2 days ago as of making this video. And they don't have an end date. A lot of times they don't have an end date, which is another weird thing. They're not great with dates in general. But the Arena one came out on the 16th and ends on the 30th. So you don't have a lot of time to get to that one, but we'll get to that later. Let's jump into this one. They always post this one. Which game mode do you play? I play both. I got friends that like PvE. I like PvP. I'm sure some of them might try out seasonal, so we'll see. I play both. How do you feel about small scale in-game events that last a few days? See, and this is where I would like them to expand this. I would like short form answers, maybe more. I know that's harder to scrub through data on, but I'm going to go rather positive. I think that they're really great. They're good to help keep the wipes longer, in the past at least, and now, obviously with no wipes, things can go through lulls if we don't have, a big content patch or something. So the events kind of help spread out the love a little bit there. That being said, I wish they would last longer. They did a better job with that with Blackout. Typically they post these events and it's like it goes live in the middle of the workday in North America on a Thursday, and it's over by Sunday morning or something like that. And then, here lately they'll extend it a couple more days into the following week. But even then, a lot of times they're too short. So I think they did a good job with Blackout, where they posted it without an end date. And I think what they did this time around, as I said in my news shorts, that they probably just watched engagement numbers, and as that number started to dwindle a little bit, they're like, okay, less people are interested in this now, let's put an end date on it so things go back to normal. And then they put a 7-day time frame on that ending instead of like 2.5 days. Like the Wild Woods event was literally like 3.5 days, starting on a Thursday afternoon or something. And it's like, I know there's the meme of the dad with 6 kids that can only play for 15 minutes a night, but like truly that is just not enough time for most people to get the game done. So I think Lasting a few days is a problem here. They shouldn't be like a month, but maybe a week and a half, more than 3.5 days, basically. Yeah, so that's my spiel on that. How many small-scale in-game events have you participated in over the past year? I'm a little, for lack of better words, autistic with wanting the achievements. So almost all of them, because I want the achievements, and I would say all of them because I usually do at least try to get them on PvE, so I can say that I, saw the content and did it in some way, shape, or form. But yeah, I think I've only missed one since they started doing those in like 2022 when the achievement system was added. So yeah, how often would you like to see small scale in-game events? I think every week is too much, especially if they were to take my advice and make the events longer than 2 or 3 days. Ideally they're a week and some change so more people can get to them. So maybe once a month, like the last week of every month, something special to tide us over. I think that would probably be a good cadence, because they're kind of smattered around. We went a long time without one, and then they would drop one for a couple days, and then it would be a couple months, and then they'd do like 2 back-to-back in short term. And here we've had like 3 or 4 of them in pretty short cadence together. But several times a month probably all right too, if several means like once, like twice maybe. But again, I think you're getting into that territory where if we're doing like 5 3-day events, then people are just going to get pissed off, and it's like obvious FOMO and whatnot. So yeah, especially when you're tying in limited time achievements to these things, or worse, if you put like clothing options that you can never get again, if God forbid you're on vacation or something and can't do it because the event's only live for fucking 72 hours. Pardon my French. But yeah, maybe I'm gonna stick with once a month. Saying 12 small scale events a year, that's pretty good on top of the patches and whatnot. Especially once we get into seasonal, people are going to be more invested in that anyway. So this could probably just be good to help the main game no wipe PvP, and the PvE players happy too. So what usually motivates you to participate in small scale events? New achievements for sure, unique rewards, obviously very much FOMO. So I'm a little iffy there, but again, because I like to get everything that I possibly can to say I did it and show that I was playing. Yeah, that's it. Valuable in-game rewards, obviously that's gonna motivate people to play. Like if you can get 10 lead X's overnight doing an event, people are gonna salivate over that. But I'm a little iffy because that kind of makes the market rough. I think we're still seeing the ramifications of Wild Woods, and it's been like a month since that's been over at this point. So I'm gonna leave that unchecked. I think the tasks and gameplay changes and like unique rewards and achievements should be enough to motivate people. We don't need like play this event and make 10 mil overnight. Interesting tasks for sure, change from the usual gameplay for sure. Playing with friends is always good. Yeah, I think both of these last 2 ones are great too, because they bring the community together, and they bring friends back together to play the event. So I think all these are great except valuable in-game rewards, and even that's technically not a bad thing. It's just I would rather not see the market flooded with valuable rewards, because it's kind of like we're already in a space where you're playing Tarkov in 2020. LEDX is really exciting, and now I think a lot of people are a little bit numb to it because they're so common, or just there's so many ways to get them now. But yeah, if you don't participate in small scale events, why not? Usually participate, blah blah blah. I'm gonna put this, I would say I can answer, because I again try to get them done regardless. But I'm gonna say for people that suffer from the problem I've mentioned a million times at this point, I don't have enough time, and hopefully that portrays to them that they're not long enough. Which format for small scale events interests you the most? Completing personal tasks, a shared goal for all players, personal tasks to contribute to the community's overall progress, several independent objectives to choose from. The event format doesn't matter much if the tasks and rewards are interesting. Events where individual contributions don't affect the overall income. My gut response would just be this one, because all of this is great. I think having a variety of all of these things is great. So maybe I'll just check off all of them since it's multiple answer. But my default would just be this. Like, I don't really care what the format is as long as it's fun and interesting. And ideally that would entail all of this stuff. Like, you would want, you know, an event where we're doing a community thing, like the bandages thing way back in the day or whatever, a couple years ago, where we had to, you know, there's like that website tracking how many bandages we've turned into therapists, and that triggers an event. And then, you know, one where doing tasks ticks up something, or one where none of that is the case and it's all just personal task line, like Blackout was. The variety is good. This would be my default answer though, because that kind of just encompasses everything above. How valuable should the rewards for small scale events be? Symbolic, slightly more valuable than regular in-game rewards, comparable to rewards for difficult tasks. They should match the event's difficulty. I guess you could say all of these would be good, but again, I think these three kind of dip into that area I was talking about earlier, where I don't really believe that we should be getting mountains of rare items. You know, I don't think they should have events where we're giving out a bunch of lead X's and red key cards and shit like that. So I'm going to lean towards more symbolic. I think it's good to have an achievement tied to it, especially if you're giving people enough time to do it. I think clothing is great. I think it's the Kerman statue. I love the Kerman statue. I think more stuff like that where you can display it on your profile in more unique ways than just an achievement, because most people don't look at other people's achievements. That kind of stuff is great because it gives you something to remember the event by. It gives you something cool that you won't be able to get anymore theoretically, unless they bring it back. And then people that don't care about that aren't missing out on anything if they skip the event. So, and then that also comes with the added benefit of not wrecking the economy for a couple months after the event's over, which will be an even bigger problem if they start doing these more and more. So yeah. Which rewards for completing a community-wide objective interest you the most? Money, experience, or valuable loot? No. Cosmetic rewards for sure. Unique achievement for sure. Increased chance of valuable loot spawning. See, now this I think is more interesting than the tasks itself giving you good shit, because then that implies, you know, PvP is involved. You still have to fight for getting what you want. Or, you know, in the case of PvE, where the economy, I guess, matters less. You're still working for something. There's still gameplay tied to it. I think like the code rooms being unlocked, how they were in Blackout, is a good example of this. Where you're still having to fight for that room and the key and unlock it and then get to the rooms and punch the key in, but you don't have to worry about bringing in a key card to get the loot. And then obviously, you know, all the gameplay implications that implies, you know, people camping the doors, people camping the exfils, yada yada. New temporary trade offers and new barters hand in hand. I know a lot of people like these. I kind of just don't care. Same thing with temporary hideout crafts. Increased task rewards, I guess, makes sense for events, although it kind of goes against what I've been saying, so I'm going to leave that one unchecked. Temporary trader discounts could be cool. I guess that hurts the economy less, so I'll check that one off. Experience game bonus, sure. Faster skill progression is always welcome. I think they really need to touch on that, and hopefully they do with 1.1 here soon. And temporary economy changes, again, not a big fan. So again, most of my big things would be these two right here. What, in your opinion, should remain in-game after a small-scale event ends? New traders, offers, barters, increased spawn chance for specific items, small bonuses for all players. Nothing should remain. I'm more, again, kind of just the same shit. I'm more in line with nothing should remain. I would rather do that. And then here we go. Share your idea for a small-scale in-game event. I'm not going to type all this out in the video. That would just be boring. So I'll maybe come back to that. All right, I did some brainstorming and wrote something up real quick. Basically, my short-term idea, without wanting to dive into the thinking too much, would be a event where Black Division has taken over certain POIs on various maps to try to get people to either work together or PvP by concentrating players at specific POIs. Taking out Black Division, you know, continuing to have a source besides Icebreaker to get their ammo and their gear, and then in addition to Icebreaker, I suppose, a global website is tracked like we've had in previous events, where we want to reach a certain amount of Black Division kills in the time frame of the event. And if we do, then barters or trade offers unlock on Ragman, ideally permanently, for the 3 bags that we normally couldn't get before because they were only in terminal. Now they're in blackout, but once that ends, we don't really have a way to get them anymore. And everybody loves those bags. They look sick. They're pretty roomy. So it would be great to have even expensive trade offers for those. BSG, big recommendation here before we end this one. You made it so that people have to put something in this box before they can send the survey results. Not everybody wants to do that, so maybe don't make them press that one, because I assume you're going to get a lot of random bullshit in this text box that you're going to have to sift through, and that muddies up actual ideas. So just some feedback. We'll send that one in. Survey complete. Take a look at the rewards we get. It looks like we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why there's not? There we go. A little bit of lag. 5 labs access cards. Pretty cool. I rambled a lot here. Let's jump over to the arena one. Alrighty, we're over here on arena. Again, I haven't looked at this at all, so I'm going in blind. The survey button, if you don't know, is down here in the bottom right. We have the first in-game survey in Escape from Tarkov Arena. You can now share your feedback directly in-game and help us make EFT Arena even better. Our first survey is all about your gameplay experience and preferences. Complete it to earn an in-game reward. Thinking back to the first main game survey, this is probably more of just like making sure the feature works well in the arena client. So most of these I expect to be pretty vague and maybe not lead to anything, but I am curious what kind of rewards they'll give. I assume it'll just be like rubles and maybe some GP coins, but let's dive in. What's the main reason you play Escape from Tarkov Arena? Oh boy. To earn benefits or rewards for main game Escape from Tarkov. I think they're doing themselves a disservice here to make it the main reason and not what are the reasons you enjoy it. Because I think, like me personally, I would say both of these, maybe even really all 3 of these are great. But to be honest, it would just be this. Like if the rewards didn't go over, I probably wouldn't play this as much. It's fun sometimes, but obviously, as we all know, it has its issues. But that being said, I hope it continues to grow and get better. And I would encourage more people to check it out, especially people that had EOD or Unheard, because you get it for free. You might as well try it. Which game modes do you enjoy the most? Last Hero, Checkpoint. That's pretty much it. Event modes for sure. The event modes have been fucking great lately. I'll probably have a video coming out for the recent SBEU Hero one, where it was just like random, disgusting abomination guns every time you died. That was a lot of fun. And they've had recent ones like Cowboys and Revolvers and Melee only. Those are great. The round modes are frustrating. Probably get called a noob and like skill issue, but I think Tarkov Arena has a really bad desync problem, and that varies heavily game to game, as you have people across the world coming in a lower pop game most likely. And these game modes where you only have 1 life make them feel that much worse. Like I don't really care if I die as much in Last Hero or Checkpoint, because I'm respawning immediately and getting to continue to work on whatever goal I'm doing. But goddamn, does it suck in team fight when like I run around a corner, I see a guy, I shoot him, I get him, and then he has a teammate that was behind him, and I'm like 2 seconds behind cover already, and then die because he shot me. And then the replay, it's like he was shooting at me before I even killed his teammate, but I didn't see that on my end. It happens so often. So I would say that I like the format of these 3, especially new shootout is fun. I'll check that one off. New shootout is cool. Reminds me of like gunfight tournaments on MW19. But team fight and blast gang, man, I want to like them so bad, but the desync and my general shitter self, I will attribute some of it to that. They're frustrating. How often do you play Escape from Tarkov? I wonder if they mean arena here. But if we're talking about main game, several times a week, every day. Which game type combo have you played over the last 2 months? Tarkov PvP plus arena, PvE plus arena. I play all 3. If the sync to Escape from Tarkov and its rewards were removed, would you continue playing EFT Arena? Eee. I wonder if they're thinking about this, man. I think this would be a shot in the foot of Arena if they did do that. Obviously, there's some people that are against this, but I think there are ways around making it feel like an obligation. That's tough. I hope they don't, honestly, because I do like it. I might get flack for that, but I do like Arena. I do like getting rewards on here. And maybe they should just err on the side of making them cosmetic, you know, the gun camos and the clothing and whatnot, and like the more realistic item skins, but not making money transfers or ref in general. Because I think that's where most of the pain points come from. So that's a tough one, man. I don't know. That's loaded. Lastly, we have, what do you value most about EFT Arena? The adrenaline, the depth of PvP, realistic gunplay, the fast pace of matches, progression of rewards. Probably this one. Again, biggest reason I play it is to kind of, if they have an achievement, if they have a special camo or whatever, because eventually, they keep saying eventually, these camos are going to, excuse me, make it over to main game. And that's the biggest reason I played it, is like I want to be able to like log on to main game one day and be like, look at all this work I did to get all these camos, because I knew they were finally coming. Yeah, and like the battle pass and whatnot. I'm mainly playing them to get those cosmetics to then use in the main game, and then, you know, the rubles and GP coins to use on ref, or like a side thing that I think if they wanted to decouple the games a little bit to make that crowd happy would probably be the best way to do it. Like get rid of the more powerful things that you can buy from ref and the money transfers and the crates and whatnot, because that like inflates main game's economy and makes it easier for some people. Like I know the big thing is like people are like, oh, well, you can just get on Arena and make 2 million rubles in 5 minutes and send them all over with 1,000 GP coins to buy meta ammo from ref, and you have 10 crates that are full of valuables and extra gear that you're getting for free, or a pussy. And to some degree, I agree. You know, I'm mocking these people, obviously, because a lot of them go too far with it and get too upset about it. But it is a valid criticism to some degree, so I get it. But I think that keeping them coupled is a good thing to some degree, especially for cosmetics. I know that's a loaded question. I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. And like, if they did uncouple it, I wouldn't quit Tarkov by any means. So like, it wouldn't upset me too much. But yeah, those are my thoughts. Let's see what oh, there's another page. What the hell? Your age? What are you asking my age for? On the lower end of this one, trust me. I'm definitely not getting closer to this number. Don't worry about it. How many hours a week do you play EFT Arena? It is on the lower side. Like, I'll be honest, I do like my dailies once or twice a week, and the weekly. You know, if there's an event, maybe 3 to 7, but I'll say up to 3 hours, I'll be honest. How long have you been playing EFT Arena? I did play on the closed beta. I got in, and at Christmas, it was like Christmas of 23, I think, or 24. It was a lot of fun. I had a lot of high hopes for it, and maybe not all of them were met, but I think Arena has good legs. I hope they don't try to down or anything. Which of these games do you currently play or have played extensively in the past? Escape from Tarkov, for sure. I was a PUBG fiend in those early years. Call of Duty, of course. Battlefield, of course. CS2, of course. And then none of these. You know, I played Valorant, but not extensively. It's just I'm gonna say it. Poor man's Counter-Strike. You know, just Counter-Strike for people that want to play Overwatch. Like, go play Overwatch, man. I don't know. Siege, never got into. I did play it a little bit. Insurgency, Sandstorm, no, but I've played like the first Insurgency game a little bit. Never touched Arma, never touched Delta Force. Neither one really scratches an itch that I have. So, is there another? There is. Oh my God, this one's got multiple pages. What keeps you playing EFT Arena? Progression for sure. Sync with Escape from Tarkov. Those would be the biggest two things. I guess gameplay is interesting sometimes, but it is what it is. I'll leave that unchecked. What's currently the biggest obstacle to enjoying EFT Arena? Technical issues. Gotta be this. Like I was just saying. Oh, like game to game feels so different sometimes. It's like, I don't know, like I could make a whole video on this. And I think in an environment like old Call of Duty where there's not any skill-based matchmaking, which is I think how Arena works. Obviously there's going to be games where you just get fucking pub stomped out of this planet, and other games where you do the pub stomping, but a lot of the times it's like shifting mid-match, and it very much just feels like, okay, we got into this game and like this person that I'm playing with halfway across the planet that probably has 300 ping to the server I'm on or whatever is having a tough time in the beginning, and then maybe their connection gets better or something, and then they're fucking me hard, and don't clip that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what it is, and I know some of it is a skill issue. I'll admit that. I'll be the first one to admit that. But I really think some of it is just all three of these things: hit reg, lag, and optimization. There's just so much swing match to match and in match where I'm going crazy, and then I get shit on a bunch, and then I'm going crazy, and I shoot a guy and I see 3 bullet holes in his helmet, and then he one taps me, or I'm getting killed through walls and stuff. It happens so much. So love the game still. I just want to see you get better. How likely are you to continue playing EFT Arena over the next 3 months? Very likely, for the reasons I've said before. What would increase your interest in EFT Arena the most? Better technical performance, probably. This would also be cool. This would be great. Really, all of these things I'm a fan of, but this is what is most important, I think, to getting the wider audience to enjoy it more. So that's what I'm gonna stick with. Okay, there we go. Now we're done. What do we get? Oh, cool. We get 2,000 Battle Pass XP, 10 Battle Pass tokens, 50 GP coins, a Season 2 crate, and there are arrows, but I guess not accept. Fuck it, let's open the crate. Well, I have 3 of them for some reason. I'm only gonna open 1 though. What do we get? Spin to win. Come on, legendary. Fuck you. Fuck you. All right, that's it for the video, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. I ramble a lot, and this one ended up being longer than usual, as always, so I guess it is usual, but drop a like if you like this. Leave a comment with your thoughts on any of these questions down below, and looking forward to the Tarkov season, so drop a follow or subscribe, depending on your platform, to stay up to date with Tarkov news with me. Again, thank you so much. I love you.